Now, from Rwanda, we move over to Kenya. Kenya has decided it's going to be a main event when it comes to activities in the continent for the past several weeks. So you should already know by now there's been protests in Kenya. In fact, it subsided after the government scrapped the um the proposed tax hike bill. It subsided and it just started again just yesterday. Now that's why I want to talk about this. Now also recently, even before the protest kicked off again, President William Ruto accused the Ford Foundation, of sponsoring the protests that have been going on in his country. If you did a video about it in a campaign, was it well? He did a video about it when he was talking to some people, and he also tweeted it. So watch this video and let's come back to discuss that.
We have no use for anarchy and violence and destruction of property and loss of life. Wale ambao wanasponsor hiyo violence, sisi tunawajua. And I want to call out those who are behind the anarchy in Kenya, those who are behind the sponsoring the chaos in the Republic of Kenya. Shame on them, because they are sponsoring violence against our democratic nation. Mimi nataka niulize watu wa Ford Foundation, watuambie hiyo pesa wanatoa ifanye fujo ndio wapate faida gani? We are going to call them out and we are going to tell them, if they are not interested in democracy in Kenya, if they are going to sponsor violence, if they are going to sponsor anarchy, we are going to call them out and we are going to tell them they either style up or they leave.
That's quite a bold statement. And now, remember, this is the president of the country. So it's very likely that he's getting this information from his intelligence agencies. Now, I've heard some people say, oh, please, Ruto and his government have accused everybody from opposition parties to the Russians. Oh, everybody's been accusing. But this is the first time that Ruto himself is calling somebody or calling an institution. And he said it's the Ford Foundation that is responsible for this protest. Why? I don't know. I don't know. But I do know, one thing I do know is that protests like this, hmm, protests like this don't just happen. They are actually funded. Now the question is, whoever is funding it, what are they trying to accomplish? Like I said when I started this episode, I said I'm going to say some things that a lot of people in Africa will not be happy about. But I'm going to say because I think it's true. As expected, Ford Foundation has denied this. I don't know if Ford Foundation is responsible. I don't know if they're not responsible. And I don't know who is responsible. But one thing I do know is that they are setting Kenya on fire. Yes, Ruto was wrong for listening to the IMF. Very wrong. Yes, Ruto was wrong. When the protest started, he did not address it immediately. Sometimes that's the problem with a lot of leaders in Africa and maybe even around the world. Because you're in office, you think you can just behave anyhow. You think you can just say anything and every other person be damned. So Ruto didn't address. When you see things moving like this, you address it immediately. Ruto was very slow. His government was very slow in addressing it. In fact, there was even a time when there was this speech he gave when he was addressing the killings, when the protest had escalated, he was addressing the killings. He almost, it was, in fact, he came as close as calling the people who were protesting terrorists. He didn't say that, but he came as almost as close as that. So he was wrong with that. I accept. But burning your country is not the answer. If you go back to my very first episode, my very first episode when I addressed the protest in Kenya, I said something. I said it's good that you're letting your government know that this is they can't do any kind of nonsense, which is true because it's part of your rights as a citizen, and it's given to you by God. It's not even given to you by a government. It's part of your rights to push back when your government is doing nonsense. It's right, it's correct. But I said something in that video. I said once the government gives into your demands, because I knew Ruto's government was going to give into the demands. I said once your government gives into that demand, go home and celebrate your win. Because why did I say that? Listen to me. It is very easy for bad faith actors to hijack honest demonstrations and turn it into something else. It is very easy. We experienced that in Nigeria in 2020 when the EndSARS protest. EndSARS was a very legitimate issue that Nigerian youth had with the government. Very legitimate issue. Did the government answer? Yeah, the government ended up scrapping the SARS something. But some people then hijacked. Later, when things got out of hand, they were like, no, Nigerian youths were surprised. No, because Nigerian youths, when they were starting their protest, they would protest. After protest, they would clean the whole place. They would sweep. In fact, they were giving foods to people. It was more of, it was even a national bonding moment. But after a while, we saw in the middle of all those protests, we started seeing burning and looting. This thing is not the youth who are doing this thing. Before we realized what was happening, they had hijacked the protest. So why am I saying that? Because in Kenya, I'm seeing the same pattern. I'm seeing the same pattern. If you now I'm seeing buildings are burning, I'm seeing looting. Now I'm seeing weapons. Like how are things getting out of hand? I'm saying this because we have seen this in Nigeria and it's following the same pattern. Even if you look into countries outside of Africa, into other countries around the world, it's following some very suspicious pattern of protest. Do you get where I'm coming from? That's why I said things when you see protests like this, there are in many occasions it is funded by people who are looking to achieve something in your country. And sometimes what they are looking to achieve in your country may not necessarily be in your interest. As you have gotten the win of the government having scrapped the what they call it, having scrapped the tax proposed tax hike, go home and celebrate your win. If if not, when these perpetrators successfully hijack this thing, you will be shocked at what you're going to see in your country. Because it's okay to disagree with your government, yes, but burning your buildings, burning your cars, looting your businesses, burning shops, how are those people going to recover? Those shops that you burnt, are they the people who are asking for tax hike? Those businesses you looted, are they the people who are asking for tax hike? So why are you punishing the people? I'm saying it because I know it is not the protesters who are doing this burning and looting. It's not them. There are some bad faith actors. Some bad faith actors are doing this thing. Kenya, it's in your interest. At this point, it's in your interest to calm down the situation because if you keep letting this thing rah rah, if you you may be surprised what may happen in Kenya. You'll be very shocked because it started as innocent protest and you were right to protest because your government was wrong to, to propose that bill of taxing. Your government was wrong not to address it immediately when people started complaining. Your government was wrong to come out to make your president Ruto was wrong to come out to make that initial speech that he made. We accept. But some people are pushing this thing, taking Kenya to a path that is not good. Taking Kenya to a path that is not good. And if you let it get out of hand, these people will destroy your country. Kenya, these people will destroy your country. Look at how they destroyed Haiti. Look what has happened to Haiti. If surprise, interestingly, it is still Kenya's troops that it's still Kenya they asked to lead coalition of foreign troops into Haiti. But let's not forget that this gang issue now in Haiti is a result of several things that were done in Haiti for several decades. Let's not forget that. I'm saying this thing now because I'm saying it even if I know that I will get pushback from a lot of people in Africa. But I'm saying it because I think it's the truth. The people who are pushing your country in this direction and not pushing it for your own good. You have gotten your win. The government has scrapped the proposed tax hike and they'll be stupid to want to implement it again. They'll be very stupid to want to implement it again now that you have gotten your win. Do not let outside agitators, do not let bad faith actors take your country to a path that is not going to be in your benefit. Don't let them. So what should you do instead? Stay at home and celebrate your win. Stay at home and celebrate your win. Because when you're seeing people burn, you started as peaceful protests, now we are seeing riots. You're seeing people burn down buildings. Why are you burning your country? You say it's a government building. I want them to know I'm angry. It's a government building. It is still your own building. The government is your government. When Ruto leaves office, he's not going to take that billion and put it inside his pocket and take it to his retirement home. It's going to be with you. When you burn those cars, they're still your cars. They're still your cars. Those shops, I mentioned it earlier, those shops that are being looted, is it the owners of those shops that said Ruto should increase tax? Why are you hurting your businesses? Those shops in your neighborhood that you are burning, are they not employing Kenyans? Is it not Kenyans that they're employing? Is it not? Those businesses that are burnt, were they not employing Kenyans? Were they not? Were they not helping the economy of your country? Were they not owned by Kenyans? Is it IMF that owns those businesses that are being burnt? Is it the IMF? Is it Ruto's business that you're burning? It's your own businesses in your community that are employing people in your community, maybe even your relatives, that are putting money into the economy of your country in Kenya. So even if you're angry with Ruto, and yes, Ruto deserves all the anger. Ruto deserves all the anger because he did not handle this situation well. But even if you're upset with Ruto, your country should be more important. Country over self. Your country should be more important. So instead of saying yes, instead of adding fuel to the fire and saying keep agitating, calm the situation. Because when there is chaos, it's very easy. I'm saying this thing, hold your ear, in your ears. It's very easy for bad faith actors to come in to take your country in the direction that is not good for you. Look at history. Kenya will not be the first. Kenya will not be the first. Look at Ukraine. What happened in Ukraine? This fire that is burning in Ukraine now, it started in 2014 when the people went to the street and they were shouting, and they, they removed their government. Yes, it was a coup. But now, who are the people who are dying at the battlefront? They're Ukrainians. It's Ukrainians that are dying on the battlefront. It's not the people who pushed them there. It's not them. So am I saying this thing? I'm saying it because Kenya, the peace in your country is important. I'm hearing now that some gangs are rising up in this chaos. Ah, remember it's gang violence that they are suffering in Haiti. Remember it's gang violence that are suffering in Haiti. So it's in your interest right now before things really escalate out of control. Calm the situation. So yes, you won your government. You fought your government and you won. Kenyans, yes. Gen Z in Kenya, yes. You fought your government and you won. Enough. When you've already won, why are you still punching? It's like beating a defeated adversary. You have defeated them already. So why are you still punching? Leave it for the good of your country. When there is chaos, you cannot do business properly. When there is chaos, investment will not come into your country. When there is chaos, people cannot go to school. Children cannot go to school. When there is chaos, nothing can be done. You can't implement any policy that benefits your country. So that is why peace is the most important thing in Kenya now. Calmness, calmness. Instead of adding fuel to the fire, pour water, extinguish the fire. Because when the fire is extinguished, you can do your businesses well. When the fire is extinguished, children, your education, the education of your children can continue. When the fire is extinguished, business can continue. When the fire is extinguished, you can go about and do your business without fear of your life or your property. So that is why the most important thing in Kenya now is stability. Is stability, is peace, is quietness over the anger over Ruto. Okay, if you want to get rid of Ruto, after 4 years, his tenure is over. Is it 4 or 5 years? I can't remember how many years it is in Kenya. What is tenure? Ruto cannot be president forever. Your constitution is against it. If you want him to step down, fine. You use through the normal channels. But to burn everything because of Ruto is not worth the fire. Like I said before, he made a terrible mistake, but he's not worth the fight. He's not worth bringing Kenya to the ground because of. Let me know what you think. This is a very somber moment for me because I'm looking at what's going on in Kenya. I'm looking at what happened in Haiti, and I find it very interesting that what is going on in Haiti, they have to send police officers from Kenya to Haiti. I'm looking at what's going on, what has gone on in other parts of the world, and I know that if something is not done now to calm the situation, Kenya, it can get really terrible. So let me know what you think about the protest in Kenya. Do you think I'm right by asking to quell the flame? Or do you think, yes, the people should keep going that because we need to eject Ruto from the conversation by force? Let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, subscribe to this channel, and share this video with other people so that this message can get out to more Africans as we look forward and we work together to build our beautiful continent and our respective countries.